Hey there, Virgo. What's good? What's good? This is your girl, Nala-Ife. And so I'm coming to you for your January 2020 mid month. And listen, babes, I don't have much to start off and say. I just want to get in here and get it cracking with your read. I'm going to be using two of my psychic tarot decks. Okay, this is going to be for my Virgo sun, moon, risings. Okay, all right. And I hope that we don't have much interruption in this video. I'm scheduled to actually do Libra and Scorpio. I'm hoping I can actually get through it, but we will see what's a go. Okay, so let's get these shuffled up for the sign of Virgo. Virgo sun, moon, rising. What are the messages from now until the end of the month for the sign of Virgo? Virgo sun, moon, rising. Virgo sun, moon, rising. This won't be a very long reading. When I come back February, I'm going to spend a little bit more time with you, but I want to get the most important messages out. Okay, all right. I just felt I needed to unstick these a little bit and go from here. All right, okay. One more shuffle. One last good shuffle. All right. Okay. All righty. At the bottom of this deck, we're going to focus on this and then go get into it. We have the throat chakra. So definitely I'm seeing a lot of chakra work. A lot of chakras are coming up for the sign of Virgo just in your reading so far. Okay. What we're seeing here, whenever we get the throat chakra, this is being able to work within the way that one speaks, what one speaks about, okay? The things that one conjures up with their voice, what they do with their voice, okay? And needing to pay attention to this chakra for sure, okay? At the bottom of the other deck that we're using, we see power. So there may be a need for a balance of power. Could be dealing with an Aries individual, or this is a need for you to step into your power as it relates to what you say and what you do, being able to properly use again that throat chakra, your voice box, being able to speak in to existence things. We all have that ability, but it's oftentimes in which when we don't understand how we are speaking, right? How our words manifest things into reality for us, that we tend to not understand how we get from point A to point B, how certain circumstances start to take place in our life. Okay. Here is going to be an especially strong time here for you to receive. Virgo, you may need to definitely balance your chakras. I'm getting major balance of chakras. There's a huge misalignment as it relates to your chakras not receiving. Okay, some of you are doing this because you do have the magician card here. Okay, and you do have the crown chakra. So some of my Virgos, you got it together. You are vibrating in such a way with that magenta color here, that high vibrational magenta. You are utilizing your resources, are utilizing your talents, you are utilizing your energies, right, to draw down from the cosmos the experiences you want for your soul's growth and evolution, right? So you are properly doing that. But for some of my Virgos, you're struggling with this. Possibly you could be dealing with a Gemini individual or another Virgo like yourself. However, there is some sort of need of overanalyzation of what's right and what's wrong. And it's almost to some issue of hypocrisy. Okay. There's an issue of hypocrisy that I'm picking up on. And the reason why I say that is that we have here the solar plexus and transformation. Okay, so what is going on with one's ego is causing a much needed transformation. If there is any false self, false ego, false narrative that one is telling themselves it is on expose. Okay, it's coming through transformation. You could be dealing with a scorpionic individual. We have Virgo on the board. We also have Aries, and we also have Capricorn here as well. But right now, Virgo, you're learning to stand in your power, but not by breaking down someone else's power, or learning to be an individual, because you're learning what is what really makes you powerful when everything else is stripped away from you, when reputation is stripped away from you. What makes you powerful? What is your purpose? What is it that you bring to the table when there are no examples of what it is that you desire out there? How do you stay focused? That's going through a transformation right now. Some of you could have had a relationship situation go down with a scorpionic individual, where you may have felt exposed, or they may have felt exposed in this time, or this is something that may come up. Okay. But the whole reason that this is happening, Virgo, is to help you shed an old story, an old paradigm of thinking. Okay. So that you have better knowledge, almost higher knowledge of yourself, of not only your lights, the light portion of yourself, but a deep intrinsic knowledge of your dark self that may be missing from you. Okay. Because we're seeing themes of dark and light all across here, especially when we get into the last two cards here. We have lead and temptation. Okay. Lead and temptation. There's almost like, from my Virgos, there's one side of you where you're being called for leadership. You have one foot towards leadership, but then there's a temptation here, possibly being led astray. Almost like, I know I can get away with this. I know I can push this agenda. I've acquired this kind of, you know, people believe this about me, so I can use this for my advantage in a way. Let me calculate things to work this way. So we want to be a little bit careful with this, because nothing is for certain in this realm. Okay, and this is what we may be learning. Okay, there is, even with this leadership card, you notice how there's someone behind this person. There's a shadow element, there's an inner being, and this is also by temptation, not be led by one's temptation, what one wants, almost like greed. Okay, there may be a desire for this. Some of you, may be tempted to out of your relationships. Give me just one moment, guys. Give me just one moment. Sorry about that, guys. This is all live, but I had to communicate with family. So let's go into this right here. I'm interested in seeing what's going on with this lead, not making sure one is not being led into temptation. Especially if it's kind of like, Virgo, not letting someone send you out in a way by pumping up your confidence, making you so confident. You know how people can give us the big head, and then we have such a big head, we have such a, we have such confidence, right? And people kind of, juice us up in a way, right? And then we do something that ultimately puts us in harm's way because we miscalculate or overcalculate our abilities. Okay, so there's a need to kind of fall back and make sure that you are leading from a place of grace instead of disgrace. That's what I'm getting. You may have opportunities to lead, but this is not a time to lead from a place in which we're our eyes are much bigger than our mouths. Yeah, this is the universal chill out. Four of Swords, be contemplative in your walk, okay? Could be dealing with an air sign individual. You may have someone who's air sign, who is communicative to you, that's offering advice, and you may want to take that advice because it may very well be sound advice. This could just also be a need to reconsider the way that one shows up in the world, okay? Yeah, and this could potentially end up with Five of Cups where there is a loss, okay? There is an emotional loss here. So just be careful here to not be led into temptation, fighting maybe for another person's battle. Potentially, you could be dealing with an Aries individual, and you're stepping on the line of in the line of fire for someone else, and ultimately you end up taking a hit for that. Okay, that's what I was feeling. I feeling like you were being tricked here. Okay, and that your solar plexus or your confidence, you were being basically played out to be overly confident in a situation, right? And could be used to facilitate something where you end up ultimately with egg on your face, and we don't want that. We don't want that. Let's see here, especially if it's on a world stage, okay? Especially if it's on a world stage. Beware of that trickster energy. Spirit, oh. The Magician came up. As all of these cards fail, the Magician is at the bottom here. Okay. Yeah, you might want to beware if you're not the one, you may feel as though it's almost like you may feel that you're in control, and for all intents and purposes, you are in control. If you're being egged on to behave in a certain way and to do a certain way, be careful, because this right here does have some repercussions. The Three of Swords here. Be careful, Virgo. Okay, if you're being played out here. Okay, be really careful. Really look over. Dot your I's and cross your T's. Okay, because there's something that you're not seeing that's coming towards you, that either can be your redemption or it can be your transformation. At the bottom of the deck here, stick to your higher self, your spirit guides, and your ancestors, and your intuition, okay? And play this correctly. Look out for people who may use position, okay? If you have a position in a company, a voice, something that can be utilized to help someone get from point A to point B, maybe resources. Be careful if you putting those things on the line for people with ill intentions that are not completely in alignment with yours, especially when they're not coming from a place that is as innocent maybe as you are. Okay, don't allow yourself to be don't cast pearls to swine, in other words. Okay, follow your intuition here. All right, much love to you, my love, Virgo, and this was month from now until the end of the month.